welcome back to Beyond the Cloud. We are continuing our baseball playset today, and we are making the bat and the ball, and it will be a cute little game for some little person to play. It does have a string attached, so they can just have a go at hitting the ball, and you've never got to run around finding the ball because it's attached. It's a nice short string here, so no danger worrying about long strings. I do mention that when I make the string, I do mention that to be careful with safety and everything. And I haven't said it on previous videos, but I just want to give a slight disclaimer here. I'm not sure what the laws are in other countries, but I know in the UK, anything which constitutes a toy or could be seen as a toy and is being sold, it has to be tested, CE tested. I'm not quite sure what CE stands for, but it's a thing that is quite strict over here in the UK, CE testing on toys. So I believe, this is only what I think, I believe you can make something to give as a gift to a child without doing CE testing. Obviously you will make sure yourself that it's safe before you give it to any child. So I don't know what the laws are stating with any of that in other countries, but I know in the UK there are quite strict laws on that safety testing. So we are not showing you this and saying go make it, go sell it. We're just showing you something that you can then choose what you do with it afterwards. Okay, so just wanted to kind of say that so that you know that we are aware of that. Okay, so anything sold in the UK that constitutes a toy or could be seen as a toy has to be safety tested. Okay, so you can search for that online and do whatever you need to do for that online. Okay, so there we go. Here ends the disclaimer. On to making a bat and ball. So we have our little people we made, the little dolls, then we made them some clothes to keep them warm, and now we're making a bat and ball. So this isn't the size for those little dolls to play with, that would be like teeny tiny, but this is for the child to play with. Okay, and then they can make their little dolls run around. So yes, let's get started. We're using the same kind of yarn that we've been using throughout, which is Aran worsted weight yarn. And you can see I'm having a ball with these. A ball! I'm having great fun with these. So I don't know if it's going to be passed on to any little person. It might just stay here in my house. Anyway, grab your things and a cup of tea and let's get started. Okay, so let's start with a magic ring. And chain 1, which doesn't count as anything. And then into the magic ring, 8 single crochets. But differently to usual, do not do a slip stitch at the end. Do not slip stitch to your first stitch. So 8 single crochets. And last one. So pull your ring in, but don't do the slip stitch to join the last and first stitches. Okay, and we're going to place a stitch marker in the very last stitch. If we can get our hook out of the way. Okay, so stitch marker in that last stitch. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 single crochets in every stitch around. So just go straight into that first stitch. No chain, no anything, just straight into that first stitch. And do a single crochet. And a second single crochet. and then into the next 2 single crochets, and continue around until you have 16 single crochets. This will be your last 2 stitches in this one with the stitch marker. Excuse me. So I took my stitch marker out to do my last 2 stitches, and then I've just put it back in, and this time it's in the last stitch of round 2. So we've now got 16 stitches. We're going to increase this to 24 stitches. Again, just continuing in a spiral and not doing a slip stitch at the end. So this is here to remind us where the end of the round is. So you're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, which is technically the first stitch of the round. So 2 into there, and then 1 in the next stitch. So a bit like when we do the flat circle and we increase, we're doing that, but we're just going in a spiral and not slip stitching anywhere. So 2 in the next stitch. Ooh, yarn's got a bit caught. 2 in the next stitch, and then 1 in the next. Okay, 2 and then 1 all the way round, and you should have 24 single crochets at the end of this round. There we go, 24 stitches, 24 single crochets. So now what we're going to do are 11 rounds of 1 single crochet into every stitch without any slip stitches. Okay, we're just going to make this longer now at this same size. So you might want to get a piece of paper, or you might want to get 11 little pieces of yarn, pop them on the table, the pieces of yarn, and for every round just move one across, and you'll know when you've done your 11, or just mark them down on a piece of paper. 11 rounds, 1 single crochet into each stitch, 24 single crochets at every row. Or if you're good at mathematics, you could multiply 24 by 11 and count that far, and when you've done that amount of stitches, by just keep going round and round and round, you'll have done enough. So 11 rounds doing 1 single crochet into every stitch. Okay, but I'm going to tell you that at some point you are going to want to secure your magic ring before it gets too long and difficult to secure. Just secure that magic ring before you go much further. Even do it now and then do your 11 rounds. Okay, so I'm going to see you when I have more of a tube going on here. 11 rounds of 24 stitches. Okay, so there we go at the end of all those rows. Looking good. So now we are going to start to pull this in a little towards, more towards the handle part of it, to give it a bit of shape. Okay, so this is the top part of it hits the ball, and then we're going to make it sort of more tapered in. Okay, so let me zoom in. There we go, because I'm going to show you an invisible decrease, which I think I showed you on the gnome. So some of you will have seen it before if you've watched the videos. Okay, so first of all, we are going to do a single crochet in the first 3 stitches, just a regular single crochet in the first 3 stitches. Like so, and then we're going to do that invisible decrease. So what we're going to do is go under the front loop of the very next stitch. Okay, under the front loop, like so, and then just twist your hook slightly and go under the front loop of the next stitch. Now my loops are probably looking a lot looser than yours because I've had to undo this and redo the video. Went a bit wrong. So just go under that front loop and then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the last 2. Okay, and then you're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, then we're going to do 2 more times the decrease and a stitch. So under the first loop, under the second front loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a regular single crochet in the next stitch. So once more, under the first loop, under the second loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a single crochet. And then we're going to do 3 more single crochets. And then 3 times more, we're going to do the invisible decrease, then a stitch. Okay, so front loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and a single crochet. Invisible decrease, single crochet, and then finally last invisible decrease and a final single crochet in that last stitch. Okay, and you should have 18 stitches now, 18 stitches. So if you want to, just have a count and make sure you've got the right amount of stitches, and then I will see you to continue. Okay, 18 stitches, and then what you're going to do now is 4 rounds, round 16 to 19 of 1 single crochet in every stitch, 1 in each stitch, for 4 rounds, and then meet me back here to continue. Once you've done those 4 rounds though, you will want to add the stuffing, make it fairly firm. It's got to hit a ball after all. Don't make it too squishy, but obviously don't make it too hard, it's for a child. So do 4 rounds of just single crochet and then add some stuffing, and I'll see you after that. There we go, at the end of those 4 rounds, you can see how it's tapered in. So if I turn it this way up, you can see this is the top of the back and it's starting to come into the handle. So we're going to do some more increasing now. Some more decreasing now. So we're going to take these 18 stitches down to 12, and we're going to do a decrease and then a stitch, a decrease and then a stitch. Okay, as simple as that. So get you started. So first 2 stitches will be our decrease and then a stitch. Okay, all the way around, and you should have 12 stitches at the end of this round. There we go. There's my decreasing. So now we're going to do 2 more rows, and there will just be there'll be just 1 stitch in each of the 12. So you can either think of it as 2 rows, a round of 12, or just keep working and counting up to 24 stitches. And when you've done those 2 rows or 24 stitches, you will slip stitch in the next single crochet and fasten off. Okay, but you'll be making sure you've got plenty of stuffing in here first. So just do 2 more rounds or count 24 stitches, and then I will join you back to finish off this colour. Okay, here we go. After those 2 rounds, it's shaping up nicely. Mine still is a bit too squishy, so I'm going to add some more stuffing in there eventually, but there we go. Okay, so it's time to fasten off the brown and join the cream. So that's if you're using these particular colours. So I'm just going to fasten off there. And you don't have to worry about sewing this in because you can just tuck it inside. The beautiful thing about amigurumi, if I can get my words out, amigurumi, You can hide so many things inside. Perfect. So what we're going to do is join the cream yarn, cream in my case, and we're going to join it in the same stitch. Okay, you will want the brown again to finish off, or whatever colour you use for the main part. You will need that again eventually. So I'm just going to find the end of this yarn, and I think I'll do this off camera so I can find the end and not have to bore you with me finding the end of my yarn. For the cream yarn, we are going to do rounds 23 to 29, so 7 rounds, is that right? 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 7 rounds of single crochet, and that's it. 7 rounds of single crochet into 1 stitch into every stitch. Okay, so 7 rounds of 12 single crochets. Now you will probably find partway through you need to add more stuffing in here, so that it doesn't become too difficult to add more later. Okay, so just add stuffing as and when you feel it's necessary. So do 7 rounds of 12 single crochet with this new colour, and then I will see you when I've done those. When you have done those 7 rounds, you want to slip stitch into the next stitch and fasten off. And that's it with our cream. So you can just tuck that end inside. As I said, I need to add some more stuffing, and then we are going to go on to round 30 with our brown again, so back to this colour. Okay, so I'm just going to add some stuffing in this part, and then we will go back to this the brown colour and join that in the front loop of any stitch. So remember the front loop we'll be using for invisible decreases, this front loop here. Okay, so just go into one of those, join your yarn. I can't even get into that loop, there we go. So just join your yarn into any front loop, okay, and I will come back to you in a moment with that when I've stuffed this bit here. So here we go. Now the more you stuff it, the more sort of firmly you stuff it, the more these holes will show. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now you could be forgiven for thinking this looks like a chicken drumstick. Also, if you are in your late 30s or early 40s, you may remember, as I do, Captain Caveman. I was stuffing this handle and all I could see was Captain Caveman with his big club. So, Captain Caveman, chicken drumstick, or as Leah has designed it for, a baseball bat. Okay, so all that silliness aside, it wouldn't be a video by me if there was not an ounce of silliness. So you know that by now. Okay, so we are on round 30. Can you believe this is round 30? But so worth it. So let's move those scissors out of the way. Right, so we have joined into the front loop of a stitch, and we are going to do 2 single crochets in the front loop of every stitch. Simples. So you might want to do chain 1 first of all before you go into this first stitch, and do 2 single crochets in every front loop. And that really is as simple as this round is. So you will have 24 single crochets by the end of this round. So I will see you at the end of this round. When you've finished those stitches, do a slip stitch into the next stitch, so the first stitch that you made. Okay? And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch around. Okay, 1 single crochet into every stitch. Again, simples. So again, slip stitch to that next stitch, the first one that you made. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We're making the base of the handle. Okay, so for round 32, we have 2 more rounds on this bat, and then we will be making the ball. So we have round 32 and 33. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet invisible decrease, but we're going to do it in the back loop this time rather than the front loop. Okay, I know that's different to what we've done before, but we're going to work it into the back loops this time instead of the front loops. Okay, so first of all, chain 1, and then we're going to do 1 in each around, so there'll be 24 altogether. So sorry, there'll be 12 altogether because we're going to half it, because all we're doing are decreases now. We're not doing any regular stitches in between the decreases. Okay, let's turn this a bit closer. There we go. Okay, so we are going to go into the back loop. So this first stitch here, we're going to go into the back loop this time and leave that front loop down here. Okay, and then into the next back loop. Now this is a bit more fiddly, so if you've got a pointier hook, it will be easier than a more rounded hook. Okay, but use the actual hook part if you need to go under there. Okay, that's what that hook's for. So then do your yarn over and pull through 2. And like I said, this can be a bit more fiddly doing it in the back, but worth it. And then yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so I'll show you that again because it is a bit fiddly. See if I can zoom in. Well, that's a bit close, but hopefully you'll be able to see it nice and clearly now. So we are going to go into the back loop. So this back loop here, under there. First one's okay, not too tricky, but then you're going to go into the second one, which is here. So pop your hook into there, and this is where I said if it's a bit tricky, turn your hook and go like that. Okay, and then yarn over and pull through the first 2. You can do them one by one if that's easier, like I'm doing now, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so I'll just show you it once more. Under the first back loop, under the second back loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2. Pull this bit of yarn here, pull that down as well, so that helps you get into that second loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so all the way around, and you will end up with 12 stitches. See you when I've finished. So when you've done those, you want to slip stitch into that next stitch. Okay, so zoom out, time again. Okay, so slip stitch into the next stitch around. Mind a little tight. So that's what the hook's for. Use the hook to your advantage with this little piece here. It is very helpful. Don't think you always have to go through just like so. You can twist it and move it however's best for you. Okay, so you can see how the bottom of this handle is shaping up nicely. Working well. So we have our final round. We're going to do another round of invisible decreases, making 6 single crochets altogether. So do your chain 1 for a start, and then do your invisible decreases. They do not have to be in the back loop this time. We have this front loop left, which is going to help us with folding this over like so. It's going to go like that. Okay, so it's like this at the moment, but it's going to go like that. Okay, so just regular invisible decreases through the stitch, making 12 stitches into 6. And when you've finished, you want to fasten off and leave a nice long tail. Okay, so I will see you when I've done that. Down to 6 stitches now at the top there, and this is what we have. So what we're going to do is weave our yarn through those 6 stitches, which you've seen me do a few times now to close things in. So just going to weave from the outside to the inside and back again. Just going round these stitches, in and out, in and out, out and in. Oh dear. I think I must be getting tired. I'm coming out with some really random gibberish. Which again, if you've watched my videos before, you know that's normal. And it's getting a bit late, so maybe that's my excuse. Or it's a full moon or something. Which actually I think it is. Anyway, so once you've done that, then pull that nice and tight and cinch that in, and then fold that down, and that's finished. Now if you wish to make this stay flat like so, rather than going like this, you can just go around and put some stitches in to tack it down. So I'm just going to do that. You just go through both layers and just watch where you're doing your stitches. Sorry for going out of shot there. So just go through both layers, making sure that you're sewing both layers together, but it doesn't have to be extremely neat because it will blend in quite nicely, I think. So just securing these together so it's a bit flatter. Okay, so I'm going to do that, then I'm going to fasten off, make a nice knot, and then I'm going to feed that knot through to the inside, which again, you've seen me do that before, but I will show you. So any moment now I will be finished. I'll come back to the beginning to do one last stitch, back through. Make sure I don't pull it too tight and distort my circle. So there we go, there's the nice base of the baseball bat. Not pull this stitch in too tightly. Go through there. Okay, I'm sure you can do this much better. Take your time with it. So now I'm going to come back through to the bottom, and then I'm going to secure with a little knot, and then I'm going to pop this in and through and come out somewhere. There we go. Pull that through, pull that down. That knot hides itself inside, and then pull this tightly, snip the yarn, and it pops back inside. And there we go. I think we can safely say, if I come out again, zoom out, I think we can safely say this is now a baseball bat. It's no longer a chicken drumstick or Captain Caveman's club. It is a baseball bat, and it stands up. Yay! How cool is that? Well done, Leah. Well done. Well done. Let's give her praise where praise is due. Just shape this a bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay, shall we make a ball to go with this bat? Let's do that. Now, I don't have any white in this weight of yarn, so I'm going to continue with the cream for my baseball. Now, ideally, white, of course, is baseball colour, so you choose, but you might not be making this as an actual baseball. You might be making it for the British game of rounders, or just this is a toy, in which case the colour doesn't matter. You might want to do blue or purple or something, you know, totally up to you. So we're going to start this ball with a magic ring and a chain 1, and the chain 1 doesn't count as anything, okay? And then we're going to do 6 single crochets in the ring, 6 single crochets. Okay, then pull that ring in tightly, but don't join it. Take a stitch marker and place on the last stitch, just like we have done on the baseball. Okay, let's pull that ring in tightly. Okay, so 6 single crochets. Now we're going to make that into 12 single crochets with 2 in each stitch. So find your first stitch and do 2 single crochets in there. And when you've done that, just continue around 2 single crochets in each stitch, making 12 altogether. We are going to increase this again, but we're still not joining, we're still going in the spiral. We're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 in the next, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, all the way around, and you'll have 18 stitches by the end. 24 single crochets. No, 18 single crochets. Oh my goodness me. 18 single crochets. We are going to move on to making it 24 single crochets. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 in the next and 1 in the next. So 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, and just continue around until you come to the end. And you will have 24 stitches. Okay, there we go, 24 stitches. Pop that stitch marker back on. Okay, so that was round 4. So now we have 24 single crochets. We are going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 rounds. I'm just counting 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 rounds of 1 in each stitch. So 4 rounds of 24 single crochets. And once you've done that, I will see you back here. Oh my goodness, get my words out for the next part of the video. So continue 4 rounds of 24 single crochet. Here we go. I've turned it the right way around, and before I go any further, I'm going to just secure the tail of the magic ring. And then once you've secured the tail of the magic ring, we are going to do some decreasing. Okay, so secure the magic ring and then we will do some decreasing. So we are going to do the decreasing pattern of decreasing over 2 stitches and then doing a regular single crochet. Okay, so we've done that many times before. So a decrease, and then a regular stitch, decrease, I think I must have done my stitches a bit tighter on that round. So decrease, and then a stitch. Okay, all the way around, decrease and then a stitch, and you will finish with 18 single crochets. And now the next 2 rounds are exactly the same stitch pattern. We're going to continue decreasing, so you're going to do an invisible decrease over 2 stitches and then a regular stitch. Decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, all the way around for 12, making 12 single crochets. And you will need to start stuffing the ball, start adding some stuffing, and then the next round do exactly the same. Do an invisible decrease over 2 stitches and then a regular stitch. Okay, so 2 rounds of decrease, stitch, decrease, stitch, and start to stuff it as well. So I will see you at the end of these next 2 rounds, and you will finish with 6 single crochets on the second round. So 12 next time and then 6. Okay, so I'll see you when I've done those 2. So when you're down to 6 stitches, I'm going to fasten off with a long tail. So fasten off and leave a long tail. And then, well, I need to add some stuffing. I've just realised I haven't done any stuffing yet. It's a bit of a deflated ball. So I'm going to add the stuffing and then use the weave in out around those stitches as we did on here to close the top of this ball. Okay, so make sure you've got plenty of stuffing in there, and then thread your needle with the yarn and weave in and out and then cinch it closed, and then knot it and then thread the needle through and out the other end just as we did on the bat, and your ball will be finished. And then we just have a little bit of detail to put on it to make it into an actual baseball. Okay, so I'm going to stuff it and fill it, stuff it and then close it, stuff it and fill it. They're the same thing, aren't they? At the moment it looks like it could almost be used as a water bomb, if you've seen those reusable water bombs that people are making. Anyhow, I'm going to finish this and come back to you when I have closed it all up. Okay, so here's the ball all finished, and now we need to put some detail on here to make it more like a baseball, unless you want to leave it as it is. But for the baseball set, you need to take a piece of paper, and then this is one way you can do it. You can just do it by eye if you wish. Okay, I'm following the pattern. As you know, I like to always follow the designer's pattern and do it as they say. So just take a piece of paper, and you want to mark about 13 centimetres or 5 inches. Okay, so I've got a line. Apologies for the paper being quite rustly. I'm just reusing an old paper bag just to reuse and not waste. Okay, so then it's going to mark halfway, so that would be 6.5. Okay, so I've got my halfway point, and then what you're going to do is basically make a circle at one end and a circle at the other, and that wraps around the ball and you can design a pattern. Okay, so I don't know, I'm just trying to think if I have anything circular at about the right size. So let me see. This may not be the right size, so I can go roughly around it. So the middle section is just sort of straight like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to draw around this circle roughly. Oh, funny noise there, funny noise from this side. Okay, so this is very, very rough. So see if it fits around. So just make a pattern, and then this will come down here. You can see I've not stuck to my size, I've gone beyond it, but hey. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to do that off camera because it's going to be noisy with my paper, and then I'll come back to you and show you what I have. Okay, now this is such bad cutting out. No prizes for that. I just cut slightly bigger than the circles I made because I thought it might not be big enough. And I'm just going to fold halfway. So my halfway point is actually not where my halfway point is on there. Who cares? It doesn't matter, does it? So pop that on and around. So it is too big, so I'm going to just take it down a little bit. And make it a bit smaller. It's not going to be circular, but it'll still be roughly. So yeah, there we go. There we go. That'll work. That'll work. And then what you want to do is on this is draw some kind of design for working your stitches around your ball. Okay, so you would design how you wanted this to be. So you could do a spiral, or you could do I think they're called concentric circles, and then pop it onto your ball, put it in place, and then sew some stitches around as your guide in any old yarn, some filler yarn. Make a sort of template really. I haven't discussed with Leah quite how she meant this to be, but I have sort of worked out that I think that's what she meant. Okay, so just decide whether you want these to be on the top, so going round as these rows go, or if you want it sideways so that it will go like around against the grain kind of thing. So you can do it that way. Like I said, put it on, use some contrasting yarn and make a template for yourself, or you can do it by eye, which is what I'm going to do. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know. Even without this template, you could still put some stitches around here, just loose stitches in a different colour, just as your guide, so you know where you're going, or just be prepared to undo it if you're not happy with it. Okay, and then you're going to make some stitches in V shapes to make it look like the baseball stitch. Bear with me while I find my red yarn and I will show you what I mean. Okay, so I have my ball, I have some red yarn, and I'm just going to do it by eye. Okay, I'm going to follow these lines around for the rows and make life just a little bit easier. So first of all, I'm going to secure this red under a few stitches. Okay, so I'm going through the middle part of the stitches to secure it there. Hopefully it will stay. I'm just going to secure it under this first one there. You can do this however you like. This is not particularly technical or any proper way of doing it, but this is how I'm doing it. Okay, so that should be secure. So I'm going to go up a little, and then I'm going to come back down to the same place that I started. I'm going to try and make these baseball V stitches. So come down, and then I will go up through here and come out ready to go back up in the middle. Okay, so this first one did not go quite as planned. You can see a bit there, but you can sort of tweak that, hide that under there. Okay, and then I'm going to come up to this side and come back down to where I started. Get my needle through, there we go. So this is just giving you an idea of how you can do this. You know that I always say you are likely to be a better stitcher than me. We all know my stitching is not the best. Okay, the crochet is what I do. Stitching, not so much. So there we go, there's a better V. This one I can go back on, over. When I come back around, I can go over that and just fix that and make it look a bit better. Okay, so I'm just gonna do these V's. They might not all look quite the same, but you get the idea. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore you by showing you all of my stitching around here, but I'm going to do this and then I'll do some more further around, further away, and make it more like some kind of baseball type thing. Of course, if you're doing your people and you're making them do some other sport, then just make your ball look like some other type of ball. You could do it yellow and make tennis ball markings. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? But completely up to you. So there we go, you get the idea. Work these around and make the ball yours. Mine's definitely unique. And then there's just one more step to do. So I'll finish this and then I will see you in a moment. Okay, here is my ball with its stitches. Now I didn't do a second line of stitches because I actually kind of went across, and if you look at this as I turn it, it kind of covers the middle around the ball, sort of going in a funny sort of direction. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. If you have an absolute fan of the sport you're making this for, if the child you're making this for is an avid fan of their sport, you may not get away with it as much as I will for this one, because your child, or the child you're making it for, will know. They will know if it's correct or not. Believe me, they will know. So I'm happy with this because any way I turn it, it kind of shows those stitches. So that's good enough for me. So here's the bat, here's the ball. No more Captain Caveman or chicken drumstick. It is definitely a baseball bat and ball. There we go. So you could use these as they are, just like so. Ball, bat, designed to be hit, like so. But we're going to make it more of an actual toy that you may remember. Remember the paddle bats, the flat bats that we used to hit the ball with. So you can attach these with string if you like. So string or yarn rather. So if you wish to do that, you'll want to attach the ball, attach the yarn up near the top somewhere so that you've got more chance of being able to hit it up there rather than it being down here. Okay, but obviously do it wherever you feels best. Having looked at Leah's pattern, she's got it joined up here. Okay, so I'm going to take some yarn. I think I'll use this brown or the cream, maybe the cream, and join it up here somewhere, and then attach the other end to your ball, and then you can have fun throwing up and trying to catch the ball. So I'll just do that little step now and then I'll come back and show you. And I just realised I said you can join it. You can use it just as a piece of yarn or string, or you can make a chain if you wish it to be a little sturdier and not so sort of floppy. The chain may make it easier, or the thicker your string or yarn may make it easier to hit the ball, and also the shorter you make it, the easier it will be. So, you know, gauge who you're giving it to, who it's going to be for, as to what length of string you'll need. And also bear in mind the safety of the string as well. You don't want to make a really long string for a young child that has a very small neck or arm for it to get wrapped around and, you know, have an injury. Just be aware of that. So the younger the child, the shorter the string. Okay, so you can join your yarn and then actually do a chain if you wish, which I think is actually what I'm going to do. So let me find, I've got so many things on this table today, it's crazy. So excuse the rustling, I'm just trying to find a small hook. Small hook, where are you? There's a 3.5 in here somewhere. 3.5, there we go. Okay, so don't need safety pins. Okay, so going to join my yarn here, and I'm going to do a chain. Okay, so forget everything I said about I will see you back when I finish, because I'm actually going to show you it here and now. So I'm going to join this, make it secure, and then this first part, to save any sewing in, I am going to chain this tail. So I'm going to pull up a loop and then just going to chain. Oops, pull that a bit smaller. Okay, so I'm literally just going to, actually, see, you can tell that I'm winging it, can't you? I tell you when I'm winging it sometimes, and today I really am. I'm just going to do this around here once more, just to make it extra secure. Little hook with thick yarn, not the easiest, but there we go. Okay, right, let's do some chains. This first part will be more tricky with it being thicker and a small hook, but we will get there. This first one, get started. There we go. And I don't know if you've noticed this new this camera phone camera that I'm using is more clear than the last one I was using, but it doesn't have a pause button, and not having a pause button is a bit of a pain. It's not as easy to just stop and pause what I'm doing, so we get a clearer picture, but you do have to just bear with me sometimes. So it's going to do I don't even know how many chains I'm doing here. Leah suggests 30. I don't know how many I'm doing, but I'm not even going to stop to count because we're just going to do it. So let's just leave this for a small child and not have a mega long length. So then I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to join it at the not so good end. So again, try and get that yarn through, and I'm going to pull through there. Totally making this up as I'm going along. But it works, huh? Now I'm going to go around this chain and pull. I am going to go around that chain and pull through. I'm just going to secure around this chain a little bit. Okay, just to make this end as secure as the beginning. Okay, and then fasten off, and then I will just take my needle and thread this yarn through here, and then I will be back for the finale. So here we go, it's all finished and I've cleared the deck so that I can show you. Here we go, baseball bat and ball with a string, and you can just, well, I've never been good at these games, okay, so never been good, but throw the ball, hit it with the bat, yay! Hours of fun, or they can just enjoy doing this with it, you know, hours of fun. And totally soft, it's not going to really hurt anyone or anything, so there we go. How cool is that? Well done, Leah, thank you very much for this pattern. It is super cute and super clever, and I still am not very good at these things, but there we go. At least you don't have to run around like a ball boy fetching the ball because it's attached. It's not going to go anywhere. So there we go. This obviously is not to scale for our little people. This is for our real life little people, not our little dolls we made. So your real life little person can hit this, and then they can make their little person run in their little sport uniform. So there we go. I'm going to stop playing with that. and I'm going to get this video edited and up for you to see. So there we go. Chicken drumstick becomes baseball bat, and we have a ball, which I think is actually a bit like a cricket ball, is it? No, cricket balls are red. What am I talking about? It must be time for me to say, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful and helpful. And if you have, please click that like button, give us a thumbs up. It is much appreciated. Share the love. And next time we are making something else as part of this set. And I hear you will need something like a kitchen sponge or two. So the little sponges that have the scour on, you will need a couple of those. Curious. So next time we will have the fourth part of our baseball playset. So get your sponges at the ready, new clean ones preferably, and we will do the next part next time. So if you've enjoyed this and found it useful and helpful, then please click the like button. I've said that before and I'm now repeating myself. Time to say, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cooked. See you next time.